in this lecture, let's look at the application question for the law of cosine. A weight is supported by cables attached to both ends of a horizontal beam as shown in the figure. So you see, this is the weight, and which is supported by cables attached to the two ends of the horizontal beam of this beam. Alright, so here is that we need to find out the angles between the beam and the cables. So this is the beam and this is the cable. One cable, another cable. So we need to find out the angle alpha and the angle beta. We know the length is 85 between two ends of the cable, and we know that this length of the cable is 40 feet and this one is 55 feet. We got to use the law of cosine, and here is why. We now recall the law of cosine is a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine gamma equals c squared. So you know, in this triangle, side A, side B, side C corresponding to the angle gamma. Then we know this is the law of cosine says. Basically, A and B are the adjacent sides of what? Of gamma. Okay, and C is the opposite side of gamma. Now, if we look at this algebraic expression, both sides subtract c squared, so it's going to cancel this one. Right hand side will be 0, left hand side will be subtract c squared besides both things. We like to add positive 2ab cosine gamma. Here is negative, so if we add the quantity on the two sides, this one will disappear. Those two will cancel each other. So right hand side is basically, it was c squared minus c squared, now they are 0, and you now have a 2ab cosine gamma. This is gamma. Basically, it's the one right here. Yeah. The left hand side is a squared plus b squared minus c squared. The right hand side is positive 2ab cosine gamma. Those are the middle steps. There are two middle steps I did in once. So we got that. Now if both sides divided by 2ab, and then these 2ab upstairs and downstairs will cancel each other. Okay, and then we'll have a right hand side is cosine gamma, left hand side is a plus b squared minus c squared over 2ab. Again, left hand side is cosine gamma, right hand side I wrote on the left, and the left hand side I wrote on the right. A squared plus b squared minus c squared divided by 2ab. Okay, don't forget the parentheses. Basically, this tells us that if you are given three sides of a triangle, then you can find out cosine of an angle easily. That's what? That's why the cosine of gamma is the adjacent side, one adjacent side squared plus another adjacent side squared minus the opposite side squared divided by what? Divided by 2 times adjacent side product of the 2 adjacent sides. That's basically what it says. With these things in our mind, then we can immediately do is that look at this alpha. Alpha, the opposite side is 55 feet. The adjacent 2 sides, one is 85, another is 40. So 85 squared, that's adjacent side squared, plus another adjacent side squared, 40 squared, minus the opposite side squared, and divided by 2 times the product of 85 times 40. Okay? And by using a calculator, again, don't forget the parentheses. If you forget it, you won't get this 0.85294111765. Okay? Alright. Once you get this number, and then you do is you may do to find out alpha and how we are going to find it. That's second cosine inverse, and then you put point 85294111765 close parenthesis. If you hit enter, you then have the answer. Okay, the answer is like 31 degrees approximately. Okay, so similarly you can do for cosine beta. You see, cosine beta is what? Is 85. This is one of the adjacent side is 85 squared. Another adjacent side squared minus the opposite side squared divided by 2 times the product of 2 adjacent side square, 2 adjacent sides is 2 times 85 times 55. Again, don't forget the parentheses when you do this. So you will get 0.9251336.898. And then you do cosine inverse, you will find out the measure of beta. Okay? Yeah. Again, down here, make sure your mode is in degree mode, not in radian. Okay, you may find out, you may set up in radian if the question asked you that how many radians. But normally here, you know, we like to find out how many degrees. Okay, so when you input this value 0.852941117 what? Here is slightly. Oh, that's the previous one. Oh, that's the previous one. That's the one right here. Okay, yeah, that's the one. This was the previous one. Okay, if you input this value over there, you should have a 22 degrees. All right, yeah. So please review this lecture. I'll see you next time.